Hey guys, in this video we will see how we can install Drupal 8 on top of LAMP stack in Red Hat. So I'm using Red Hat 8. If you are using 7 or 8 of Red Hat or CentOS 7 or 8, it should be fine. So the prerequisite is you have to have a LAMP stack already installed in your system. If you don't have one, go ahead and install. I have made a video on this. Installing LAMP stack by clicking this link on top left or top right of the video. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Let me first show you that I do have a HTTP server running in my local host. You can see here. So yours also must be running just like this. Okay, with that, let's first uninstall any PHP modules if we already have by giving this command. So if you are using a Z shell, then you probably may not need these codes here. Okay, anyway, so I don't have any PHP modules because I just uninstalled previously. So that's fine. What modules of PHP you want to use is version 7.3 or above that. So that is a recommended versions of PHP by the Drupal, for Drupal installation. Okay. So now first thing you have to do is, if you do have yum server configured in your system, that's fine, you can go ahead and install that. But if you don't have, you can go and install it by mounting your CD-ROM. Okay, these are the modules which are necessary for installation of Drupal. So let me just first dive into slash. Okay, first let me mount this dev CD-ROM on /mnt. Okay, it's already mount. Okay, cd/mnt upstream packages, that's where all your packages reside. So ls hyphen, okay, not hyphen, grep php will give me all PHP modules that are available in my system for installation. I do have 7.3, 7.4 and 7.2, so I'm going for 7.4. So those are the modules I just have made notes in here. So you can install it via this command. Or if you don't have yum already installed, you can just go ahead and give rpm command, rpm-ivh and all those package names that have listed in these package names. Okay. So I'm doing it with yum anyway. So copy paste this command, enter. So it will install all these PHP modules. So once that is done, you have to start the PHP FPM service and enable it, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so first systemctl enable PHP FPM. Yes, okay, it's done. Systemctl start PHP FPM. Okay, that's also done. Let me also just check the status of it. Systemctl status PHP FPM. Yes, it's running and active. Okay, that's one phase of installing PHP. So the second thing is you have to configure a database for your Drupal website. So in order to do that, what you can do is, okay, give this command mysql -u user root, and the password will be provided, and provide the password for root. Okay, let me just list the databases by giving show databases command. Okay, clearly we can see there is no database already configured for Drupal. So let's create our database. Okay, by giving this command, create database name, whichever you want. Let me give DrupalDB. You can also set the give the character set as well. So I should let it be simple this way. Database DrupalDB. Okay. Now create a user in order to use the database. Create user. Username is Drupal at localhost. In your case, it may be any name at your domain. Instead of localhost, you have to give your domain. In my case, I'm just hosting it on my system, so it's just localhost. create user Drupal at localhost and give him the password by giving identified by within quotes, give the password. Give some strong password. I'm just giving a simple password for demonstration purposes. Okay, once it is done, create user Drupal at localhost identified by Drupal. That's the password. Okay, next thing is you have to grant some privileges, grant some access for this user on the database that you just created. So in order to do that, give this command grant all on drupaldb.star. That means every any view or any table inside that DrupalDB database, it must be accessible to whom? Drupal, that we just created, the user that just created Drupal at localhost. Also give the password localhost identified by the password that you just gave. In my case, it's Drupal. So please ensure the command is typed correctly. It's grant all on drupaldb.star to Drupal at localhost identified by password. Okay, fine. So that's done. Now flush the privileges. Flush privileges and exit. So once this is done, so in order to verify the successful execution of all those commands that we just gave, so you give this command mysql-u Drupal that we just created, the user that we just created. Then the password will be provided, and also execute this command on the database -e option. Give the password for Drupal user. You can see Drupal user has access to DrupalDB and also information schema, which is accessible to all users by default that you create. Okay, so that's done. So that's the second phase, that's done. And next thing is you have to download the Drupal Tar Archive from the website. The website being, so go to this website here. So I'm downloading the Tar Archive 8.9. Okay, here go ahead and download this Tar Archive. I have already downloaded it in my system. CD downloads, list the files. You can see here Drupal 8.9 is already there in my system. What I want to do is HTML folder. Okay, let me move the downloads Drupal Tar Archive to the current directory. I mean to say is move this Tar Archive to webdev.html, and you can see here, and once it is moved, you can extract it. XZF Drupal the archive name. Yes. Okay, it will extract all the folders and files inside the Drupal Tar Archive. Once it is done, what you have to do is you have to create a folder inside the extracted folder inside sites, inside default named files. Okay, let me just show you that. Let me not confuse you. Okay, let me first remove this file or move this back to downloads. So I'm moving this archive file to downloads folder back again, and I'm renaming this folder, the extracted folder, to just Drupal. Okay, so that's the command. So once it is done, you can list the files. Now you move inside the folder Drupal sites default and hit enter. You can list the files here. There is a file called default.settings.php. You need to copy that file as settings.php. So once that is done, create a directory, make directory files. So this is done. So these are the requirements for installation of Drupal. So once this is done, go back and list the file. Yeah, there we go. Then we have to set the SELinux context for this folder to be accessible by Apache server to serve it through the browser. Okay, so in order to set the SELinux context, chcon command you can use, chcon recursively, capital R for recursive, T for change the object type, so that is httpd sys read write content D, and apply this to all the folders and files from the current directory. My current directory is being HTML, so or otherwise you can specify the full path by var html/star. You can give this command, so or okay, yeah, just give it star. So what it will do is it will change the SELinux context for all the files and folders inside the Drupal folder, including that folder. So how you can verify that is by giving this command. You can see here. Okay, you can see here Drupal folder has the SELinux context set to httpd sys read write content type. Okay, so that you have to make sure, and also you can also check inside Drupal sites default folder that we just where we made some changes. So yeah, here also it is changed, httpd sys read write content and httpd sys read write content. Okay, so once this is done, this is the third phase, that's also done. So and also one more thing here, you have to change the owner of this file, this folder by Apache. So in order to do that, chown Apache : Apache. That means the user is Apache and the group is Apache. So which folder I want to own, whatever is there inside HTML, webdev.html folder. So all that must be owned recursively by Apache user belonging to Apache group. That's the command. So click on enter. So once that is done, this is the completion of that phase. Okay. So next thing you have to do is you have to add a virtual host configuration file inside etc httpd conf.d directory. Okay, in order to do that, go to etc httpd conf.d directory and list the files in here, and let me show you my notes here. So this is the virtual host configuration that you need to add. This is the very basic one. Okay, you can do that by okay, don't worry about the this virtual host configuration I'll give in the description as well. You can copy paste it. Okay, let's name drupal.conf in here. So you can give any name here. So first you have to be in this directory, and the second thing is you have to create a file called any name with ending with .conf. Since this is a Drupal host configuration file, I'm just giving it as Drupal. You can name it anything you want. Okay, but make sure it ends with .conf. So why drupal.conf? Just copy paste that thing, and you can verify this here. So it's running in port 80, and server name being root at localhost, and server admin being root at localhost, and server name being localhost, and document root, and where HTTP daemon must look into in order to serve the files from the browser. Okay, that is the folder. So here is where it has to look up to. Okay, that's this thing here, and allow override all these configurations for overriding the configuration of HTTP server. And also this thing is here for error logging. If you have any errors, store that in var log httpd drupal error.log, and also some custom errors can be stored in here. So that's the virtual host configuration file, pretty basic one. So after this, press escape shift:\WQ to save and quit, and press enter. Clear the screen, go back, clear the screen, and now we can restart the Apache server systemctl restart httpd for just because we edited the we added the host configuration file, right? So we need to restart the HTTP server. Go ahead and restart it. Okay, once this is done, go to the browser, go open any browser and type in localhost with fingers crossed. Okay, yeah, we are done. Okay, it's showing us the code install.php for front end in order to install it. Save and continue. Choose your language and save and continue. Okay, standard installation, yes. Okay, select the database that you already have. In my case, it's MariaDB, so I'm selecting this one. And database that you just created, Drupal_db, right? Give that name. And database user. Who is the user you just created? Drupal, right? So in your case, whatever the name you have given, that you have to give there. I've not just given the password yet. So give the password as well. Okay. All save and continue. Okay. Installing Drupal. It will take some time for installation. Wait patiently. So while this is installing, I would like to give some tips and tricks for you guys. Okay, if you follow through this video and if you didn't get this prompt page when you type in localhost, when it is not prompting you for installation, so what you can do is let me show you. Okay, what you can do is you have to edit the etc php.ini file. See here, you can edit this file. What you have to do is you just have to remove the comments before. Okay, let me just apply. Okay, press the slash to search. Type in here display_error. Okay, here you can see display errors. Just uncomment this. Just remove this semicolon here, and also for startup errors, remove the semicolon here. Error reporting also, just remove these semicolons. For any 2 to 3 errors, you just remove the semicolons for a while. So for these two at least, so that what error you are getting, that will be displayed in front of when you type in localhost here, it will be displayed in here, so that you can rectify what error is exactly you are dealing with, and go ahead and Google it a bit, and so that you will find easy solution there. So that's one of the advantage. Once you fix that, please don't forget to comment this again, because if you don't comment this, so all the users will be able to see these errors in case if any occur. Okay, so that's one thing you have to remember. And also Drupal 8 is PHP sensitive. If you don't have proper PHP version, so you might run into some issues or warnings, something like that. Okay, so we are done here. We can give the site name, whatever the site name you want. Okay, then set the email, my site dot my email, whatever the email you want. Next, create a user in order to maintain the site. So you can give any other user as well here, but I'm just giving the Drupal user itself as the user, and password with whatever the password you want. Okay, for maintenance of site, who creates the site, who maintains the site. Okay, it's for it. Okay, then default country, select the default country, and time zone as well. Go ahead and save and continue. So that's it, guys. So you must be able to log in successfully. Sorry. Save and continue. You must be good enough to surf your website from any browser. Yes, alright, we just did it, guys. Okay, we just successfully installed Drupal 8 on Landstack. So I hope this video is helpful for you. Any doubts, please comment them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. So if you could successfully install Drupal on your machine, then hit a like button. So thank you, guys. Thank you. See you again with another video.